Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is September 25th, 2018, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, starting earlier this morning at 7:35 South African time out of Japan, Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda was speaking. And then later this afternoon, a very important number, consumer confidence number coming out, and that's going to be at 4 o'clock South African time. Now, that is really a major number that's coming out, so just be aware of that. Now, tomorrow is Wednesday, and we do have FOMC coming in. We also have part of the Make Me a Trader program, an analysis on how to trade the news that is coming out tomorrow. So that might be something of an interest. If you want to sign up to it, make sure to sign up before then. Now, just a few points about today's trading. Firstly, the GBP takes a big retreat. Okay, so we're going to discuss what's next. Secondly, the Dow retreats as well to previous resistance. And we're going to discuss, will it bounce? Okay, what's the likelihood of it bouncing? And then oil sets its course to higher, but how far and will it reach its high? Will it go? So we're going to be discussing that in this daily review. Let's see what's been going on in the markets. So we're actually starting with the Euro USD, and as you can see, we had this really nice rally earlier this week, and then a subsequent retreat. We gathered all the way to 118-ish level, and then retreated back to the 117.43, which you could see here is a previous resistance level. Okay, so subsequent support. So that is an important area that we're actually trading in right now. So if we do break it on the downside, the next support level is 1621. But with this velocity, with this nice trending up, I don't see that we've broken the upwards trend besides taking a little bit of retreat here. However, looking at the GBP USD, as mentioned earlier, we did see a sharper retreat. Actually, in fact, we broke our trend line, as you can see here, back at 131.67. Okay, this really had a beautiful trend line. We mentioned this earlier in the week, even though it broke that its resistance right here at 130.32-ish level, and then continue all the way to 132.91 after retreating. Okay, so the question is what we're going to do next. All right, so then I believe what we're going to be doing next is really be trading within a range between this lower limit here about 130.60-ish level and 131.92-ish level until we see some sort of capitulation or some sort of impetus to move us either higher or lower. Okay, this correction has actually happened, but I think we're going to be continuing and trading in a range until we see some sort of, like I said, catalyst to move us either higher or lower. Now, jumping into the USD Japanese yen, we're looking at a daily chart, and you can see that it's testing its highs here. Okay, getting weaker versus the dollar into 112-ish area. Now, if we break above this 112-ish area, our next resistance is 114. So this is really an important area for us to either take a little bit of a short here and see if it does work for us, maybe to add to it with a correctional move down to 111. Okay, so that might be a move today if you do get the chance to trade that, looking at this as this unfolds later today. Now, jumping into oil jumping to $72 a barrel. Now, this is the back of Russia and Saudi Arabia saying that they're not going to produce much more oil, and tomorrow is actually the oil inventories number that's going to come out later in the week. But before then, you see some some upside momentum. Just remember, we do have resistance at 74.63. So if we do close this gap, the next real resistance is $74. So just be aware of that as that continues to trend. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, this has really been the play of the week. Now, we mentioned this earlier last week that this thing was a rock compared to some of the other the other indices out there, and continue to break out higher, making all-time highs for the year, 26,771. Now it's retreating to its resistance level, previous resistance level, and subsequent support at 26,600-ish level. Okay, now this is why it's so important. Okay, you can't make that graph look better than it is right now. Okay, because if you look here, we had resistance all the way up here, if you can see that on the left-hand corner, and then right here we have resistance and then subsequent support, and we are assuming that it'll hold this line right here and maybe take it up on the upside. Now, I don't want to celebrate that too soon because this does happen often where there's a little bit of a fake out breakout, okay, call it, and then we retreat further down. So just be aware, this is a little bit dangerous to get into the move with the news event tomorrow. Okay, if we do break this downside, we could see a further correction. Okay, so that's something to consider as tomorrow kind of sets its pace. all right, as we get into this time frame. All right, looking at the other indices, we're not that strong. Okay, NASDAQ is really, not breaking out higher. That's really on the back of Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Google not making new highs and just, bouncing off of that sell-off that we finally had. Okay, but it's not making those new highs. If we look at Apple at 220 off of our 229 high level, okay, so we're really just trading within a range, and we're at best at the bottom of the range. Okay, if you call that, if you call this 217 the bottom of the range, okay, right there, and the top of range is 229, we're really on the lower end of that range. Okay, so for us to really, rally into this area, we need a lot of impetus. So maybe we'll get that from the Fed, maybe not. Okay, so that's something to consider as we enter the number tomorrow. Okay, because it is a very important and crucial time of the year for the stocks to rally, maybe into Thanksgiving, which is November time, and then a further rally into December. So just be aware of that. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.